Borneo, the third largest island in the world and the largest island of Asia. I'm going to visit some relatives today. And no, they are not my in-laws, in case you are wondering. They are my blood relatives. According to 23andMe, an American DNA testing company which did my DNA test, I am Eastern, Southern, and Northwestern European with some French and Bavarian genes thrown in. So how on earth do I have relatives here in Borneo, Malaysia? Actually, they are your relatives as well, orangutans. By now, you can probably guess that I am a bigger fan of Charles Darwin than I am believer in Adam and Eve, founders of the first nudist colony, or maybe founders of the first hippie community as well. Who knows? And here we are. That's where our relatives live, and many people want to visit them today. At least some of them live here. But first, we need to check in.
Since it is a fruiting season, which means fruit is available for orangutans on the trees, they may not come. There was a warning at the entrance, but I still want to try. One never knows. Sarawak Forestry Corporation, Kuching Regional Office. So what I know is that they take orphans that lost their mothers, take care of them, or injured orangutans from the wild and try to rehab them and prepare them for being released back to the forest. So this is not a zoo. No one will see any cages here, I think. So what they do is they feed orangutans twice a day, in the morning and in the afternoon, and they usually come when there is not enough food available on the trees. But since now there is plenty of food, you may be out of luck and you can walk as I am doing, or you can go by an electric buggy that we just saw past us, but I think I will walk. Ethno-botanical garden, established in 1991. This garden covers an area of 4 hectares and houses about 300 species of plants used by the Sarawak natives for cooking, as fabric dye, and even remedies to cure diseases. It's closed, so let's continue. Banana tree, or I should say banana plant, really. And what a beautiful bent bamboo. Not many people walk, but there are some behind me. Berry laluan, give way. And no, I don't speak Malay, just a lucky guess. Establishment of Semengo Rainforest Discovery Center. Quite a few pictures of orangutans by the side, but it would be better to see the real thing, which, as they said, low chance now, since there is an abundance of fruit in the forest.
And here we go, our first orangutan. Many rescued orangutans are taken to refuges where they can recover and be rehabilitated, and then are eventually released back into the wild. And that's what this place does here. Orangutans are the heaviest tree-dwelling animal, and they spend most of their lives swinging through the canopies and lead vast stretches of forest to find enough food and mates. And boy, they've got long arms. In fact, they are 1.5 times longer than their legs and stretch to their ankles when standing. You will notice that they don't mind eating with their feet. Orangutans are incredibly dexterous and use both hands and feet while gathering food and traveling through the trees. Like us, orangutans have 4 fingers and a thumb and fingernails. Their feet look almost exactly the same as their hands, designed for climbing and gripping. And they learn everything they need to know from their mom. Kind of sounds familiar to us, doesn't it? Young orangutans stay with their mother until they reach around 7 years, and they spend this time learning everything from her, including what's good to eat and what not to eat. Infants are so attached to their moms that they ride on her body and sleep in her nest until they develop their own skills to survive on their own. Because of this long learning curve, orangutans only have once every 7 years a child, which is the longest birth interval of any long mammal. We cannot see it here, but they build nests to sleep in. They make a sleep platform or sleeping platform or nest every night. An orangutan makes its nest in around 10 minutes by pulling several large branches together, using smaller branches for a mattress, and binding the structure together by weaving in more supple branches. In wet weather, they even sometimes add a roof. As orangutans make a new nest to sleep in every night, scientists actually use their nest to estimate their population size in any given area. Nests are counted both from the ground and from the air, as they are much easier to spot than elusive orangutans. Some of them use tools like sticks to get termites, ants, or bees out of tree holes. These clever creatures have also been observed making a glove, quote unquote, out of leaves when handling prickly fruits or thorny branches. They mainly eat fruits such as mangoes, lychees, and figs, but they also feed on young leaves, flowers, insects, and even small mammals. Fruit makes up around 60% of orangutans' diet, but when it's scarcer, they also eat some weird-sounding things like soil and tree bark. Durian fruit is their favorite. It's best known for its stench, which has been likened to sewage, rotting flesh, and smelly socks. Tasty. Actually, many people, including me, like durian, and it's called the king of the fruits in Southeast Asia for a good reason. It's very tasty. Bornean orangutan populations have declined by more than 50% over the past 60 years, and the species habitat has been reduced by at least 55% over the past 20 years. They are not tall animals, but they can grow to about 100 kilograms, 220 pounds, and they can live up to 45 years in the wild. Their numbers have declined rapidly due to human activities like hunting. Yes, people used to kill them, they still do sometimes, and also due mostly to unsustainable and often illegal logging, mining, and conversion of forests to agriculture. The good news is that deforestation is slowing down in Borneo, and Malaysia and Indonesia are setting stronger requirements for forest protection now. Hopefully, it will help. Orangutans are sometimes shot in retaliation when they move into agricultural areas because they don't have enough natural habitat and because they grow oil palms. Here there are huge oil palm plantations, and when they are hungry, they destroy the crops. This occurs particularly in times of hardship when orangutans cannot find the food they need in the forest.
The ranger tried to lure the orangutans to the feeding platform by offering them some fruit. First he offered them durian. I could smell it from the distance, and it's an excellent fruit. People love it here, and it has a distinctive smell. Some kinds smell more, some kinds less, but all of them smell. That's why in many countries you are not allowed to bring durian to any establishment like a hotel, or to take it on a train or a bus or taxi or whatnot because of the smell. But anyway, and then he offered them a coconut, and that was interesting how orangutans were able to break it, very skillful. And since we are very close to the equator and we are on an island, it's pretty hot, which is not that bad, but it's really humid. I mean, it's raining every day since I came here. Of course, humidity is high almost the whole year. It's an island after all, and well, people are used to it, I guess. But if you are a visitor, I think you would love to have a cold drink after a walk in the forest. I certainly do. I hope you liked this little trip. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and take care. Goodbye.